Hi guys,
I'm Shauni.
and I'm Mondi, and we've been married for 11 lovely years.
Yes, indeed. And tonight we are going to talk about the topic consciously single.
Yes, but before we get started, guys, don't forget to tap that notification button and subscribe.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to talk about the topic at hand right after this intro. Okay, you guys, consciously single.
Yes.
A lot of single people tend to focus on the wrong thing. They tend to focus on the fact that they are not in a relationship and they want to be in one, instead of focusing on the reason that they can't seem to get in a great relationship when they're in them. Okay? And the reason for that is they are not focusing on themselves when they are single. Being consciously single is all about focusing on self-love, self-appreciation, what you want and what you need. If you don't focus on these things, you're gonna find yourself right back in the same type of relationship that you've been in, only to find yourself yet single again with another ex. So be consciously single.
Yes.
Focus on overcoming your trauma. Focus on loving yourself and building your self-confidence.
Yes.
Focus on what you like and what you don't like, what you love and what you don't love. Focus on going out by yourself and trying new things and loving it. Focus on you.
Yes.
So the next time you start dating, you become bullshit-proof.
Bullshit-proof.
Okay? And then you'll finally find the person that you want and you need and that you desire. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, because a lot of people are trained to believe that focusing on yourself is selfish, but it's really not.
No.
You know, what really is selfish is focusing on yourself at the expense of others, right?
100%.
You know what I mean? You know, you're trying to do it, but you're doing it at someone else's expense,
Yeah.
so you can make yourself feel better.
Right. It's
You
a
know,
difference.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Being consciously single is the perfect opportunity to focus on yourself entirely, because there's no one around to distract you.
100%.
Focusing on yourself can be done while you're in a relationship, but it's going to require a lot more of your time and energy.
Yeah.
That's why when you're single, you have no distractions. You can do it all yourself. You can just take the time and focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when I was single, I did a lot of things alone. I did a lot of things by myself, and a lot of my family and friends thought that it was weird. But looking back, I knew something innately that they did not understand at the time. When you are able to do things by yourself and alone and be okay with it, it boosts self-confidence, it boosts self-love, and it also makes you able to be alone without feeling lonely.
Okay.
So when you do start to date, you look at people with a whole new set of eyes, okay? You don't look at them with lonely eyes. You look at them with confident eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel you.
When you're lonely, you have a tendency to not properly vet people.
True.
You end up attaching yourself quickly to the first thing that looks good and feels good, and it ends up being a complete disaster and a waste of your time. But when you are consciously single,
Yes.
you have focused your energy on becoming the best possible you.
Yes.
And you don't attach yourself to nothing that don't meet your new requirements.
That's right. I feel you on that. So let's talk about some of the ways you can become consciously single.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the first one.
Okay.
Without question, in my book, get yourself a therapist. Find yourself a therapist. If you're an in-person person and you want to talk to someone face to face, there are a number of people out there.
Yes.
You want to do online, you can't afford that in person, There's a number of places online you can go to, right?
Yeah.
But the main thing about this is that you need to get with a therapist, because it's going to be hard to not be lured by the same type of relationships you had before.
100%. And the thing about trauma, right? A thing about things that you need to work through. A lot of people think that they're fine. I'm okay. I'm over it, right? But I would say this. Pay attention to the things that trigger your anger and your upset.
Yes.
And pay attention to the things that sadden you. And pay attention to relationships that are not good, that you repeat over and over again with different people. That means there are unresolved issues that you need to work through. And you need to get with a good therapist, because they will help you connect the dots that you cannot connect yourself.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's connecting you to your trauma, right?
Correct.
Yes. And you may not see it as trauma, but it is trauma in some way.
In some ways.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a reason. There's always a reason that we do what we do. And a lot of times, and I'm going to say the vast majority of the time, it stems from our youth. Because we are learning and we're taking in how to live and how to be as people in this world.
Yes.
And it's the responsibility of the people around us to help us to do that. But when they don't do that, or they don't do it properly, or they make mistakes, right? It causes problems for us as adults when we get older.
Wow.
So when we do things and other people are like, what in the world? You get what I'm saying? You don't think it's a problem because you've always done it.
You've always done it,
right? You've always done it that way, but it is a problem, and it's something that you really got to work through to help you to become a better person.
Agreed.
Okay, number 2, work on your self-esteem and self-love. We have a tendency to nitpick ourselves to death. And it is because of the things that we went through in our youth that people have said to us or about us. And we repeat those negative thoughts over and over again in our minds, even as adults. And we create a habit of low self-esteem.
Wow.
And most of the time, we don't even know that we're doing it, right? So what you have to do is focus on your thoughts, right? And anytime one of those negative thoughts pop up in your mind, you have to tell yourself the exact opposite. You have to tell yourself, I'm gonna give you an example, right? You might catch yourself saying, dang, I can't do nothing right. Right? Catch yourself and say, that's not true. I am more than capable of figuring this out, and it's gonna turn out all right. Okay? It might seem strange to you to do it at first because you're not used to it. But that's how habits work. You have to repeat them over and over again. So when you repeat these positive thoughts to yourself over and over again, your brain starts to believe it. And the next thing you know, you're feeling good about yourself.
I agree with you 100%. That was one of the things that I struggle with a lot, is, having to repeat those things because of having negative images in my mind about myself. And not so much because of what someone said to me, but just because in life I just felt like I wasn't what I thought I could be. And so taking your advice on looking in the mirror, telling yourself how, handsome you are, telling yourself you're going to have a great day, or you're worthy, those kinds of things. And it's going to seem strange. It's going to seem strange to do those things. But it's important to build that habit of doing it over and over again, because you spent so much of your time telling yourself how bad you are. Oh, you idiot. Dang. You make a mistake on something. Oh, dang, you're a fool. And, why would you do that? And you chastise yourself. When in fact, you should be telling yourself the opposite.
Absolutely, right? Because here it is. Here it is, guys. Habits are habits for a reason.
Yes.
Okay? Your brain is like a computer.
Yes.
Right? But whatever you tell it, after a while it starts to believe. Right? And whatever you do, say for instance, you smoke. right? You smoke for so long, your brain becomes used to it, and it tells you you need a cigarette.
You need a cigarette.
And you start to desire it. You start to need it, right? But that works in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to tell yourself positive things and talk to yourself positively,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, your brain starts to believe that too.
Mm-hmm. It'll come around.
It's going to come around, right? When you have positive thoughts and feelings and positive self-talk about yourself,
yes.
and you keep doing it and you keep at it, your brain will start to believe it, and the next thing you know, you start to feel better, and then you're doing better, and
yes.
then you're reaching your goals, and then you're striving.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it works.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it does.
It does work. It works 100%. And that leads me to my next point, which is number 3.
Okay.
Figure out what you like and what you don't like about yourself.
100%.
We were just talking about that. Figure out all those good things that you like about yourself. Write them down.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you may not think they're good things about yourself because people may have not have told you.
Correct.
And you have a distorted vision of yourself.
Yeah.
But look deep inside yourself. You know what? That's good.
I like that.
I like that.
I like my nose.
I like my
nose. My eyelash.
You know, I don't care what people say. I like that.
Yeah, I like my ears. Whatever
Yes,
it is.
yes. And then do the same thing about the things that you dislike
Yeah.
about yourself. And we're not talking about the superficial
Not
stuff.
superficial stuff now.
All right? We're not talking
Not
about,
this one.
you know.
Superficial. Dig deep.
Dig deep, right? And you write down those things. And you...
And core value.
Core value things, right? You know, things that may be an issue with you. You pop off.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. You know, you have a negative view about life. You know, or you may not see that, but people may have told you that you have a negative view about life.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. You know, these are core value things, all right? We're not talking about, I don't like my bud. You know, I want to change that. That kind of stuff, that's superficial, right?
Right.
We're talking about core value things. Write them down.
And then change them.
And then work to change them.
Yeah. Okay, last but not least,
Yes.
go out alone, right? Do things that you love or try new things. I'm telling you, it might seem strange at first, but if you do it over and over and over and over again, as habits go, the habit of doing something amazing is just as effective as doing something negative. And before long, you will find yourself loving it.
Yes, yes, yes. Go out and do some painting.
Yeah.
Some clay, some pottery work.
Yeah.
You know, wine tasting. Things that you probably wouldn't normally do.
Yes.
Get
By
your-
yourself.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And guys, we're going to leave it right there. All right?
Yeah.
Because we think that that's a good place to leave it.
It is.
Yes. If there was something you heard, you liked, disliked, whatever it was, something that moved you, drop it in the comments box below. We want to hear from you.
Yes, indeed. And if you would, if you could, support us at our website, www.urbanwellbred.com.
Yes, and please don't forget to like.
And share. And whatever you do,
What's never.
don't forget to subscribe and bang that notification button.
Ding.
Until next time.